Hello, I thought I would come on today and show you how to make a cleansing salt scrub. This is a really great way to clear yourself of negativity or, while you're doing a cord cutting. So, we're going to start with a cup of salt. And I want to forewarn you guys, I made this the most difficult way possible because I didn't want to dirty extra dishes. So this is salt. It started out as relatively big pieces of salt, and I ground some of it, but I didn't like finely grind everything because I wanted multiple textures. Okay. So the next ingredients that we're going to be using is 1 tablespoon of elderflower, 1 tablespoon of dried rose petals, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, which I did not handily measure out beforehand, and then 1 tablespoon of rosemary. Now, the rosemary um, uh, is something that I used my spice grinder and I ground it up, but I didn't grind it all up super fine, similar to the salt, because I like the extra textures. Because this is a multi purpose tool, it exfoliates and it cleanses, clears your energy, cleanses your energy, um, and kind of gets rid of the negative energies that are around you. So I went and I mixed everything all up in my mortar and pestle because I wanted to kind of get those rose petals and elderflowers ground up as well. Could I have put them in my spice grinder? I could have, because this was a lot of effort. Would have been less effort as if it would have been if I had used a stone pestle. But that's not what we did today. Our goal was how can we make this super difficult? I feel like I did a great job. So you go ahead and pour it in your jar, and you can put it in a bowl, so that you can uh, have an extra bowl to wash. I didn't want to. This is just a jar that I use for salt scrubs. So I decided to mix it in there. I did realize that the spoon was not the handiest way. I thought because it was really long and be really great and easy. And I was like, nope, actually, that doesn't work. So I went and I got a butter knife, which worked great, honestly. So you can see the different size pieces of the salt in there. I heard once, I was on an airplane ride once, and I was told that I was talking to a person who had just gotten a new pool and they used a salt. Um, It was like a saltwater pool, which is interesting because you don't hear about those very often, and how it had completely cleared up their son's acne. Probably because he had acne from oily skin. I guess if you have dry skin, this probably wouldn't be great. Maybe you'd want to use. I really maybe okay. If you have dry skin and you're worried about the salt, would say that you could use half sugar, half salt, and that might be helpful. Or you know, do what you have on hand. I guess you could probably just use all sugar, but the way I make it is with salt. And if you are prone to breakouts, maybe this would help. Oh, don't use it on your face though, because it's kind of the salt pieces are too big. Full disclosure, I use it on my face. This has taken a turn, hasn't it? Anyway, you're going to add the half cup of oil, and you're going to stir it up. This did come in handy. So I stirred it up until it was mostly done. And then I went and I put the lid on and I shook it. It was really funny the way when I was getting the measurements, because I actually have this as a bath, um, but I was told to post this as a scrub, which frankly is going to make much less of a mess in your bathtub, which is great. Um, also a little bit easier for most people to use. Um, when I was like, "Well, how much oil should I add?" I was told 2 cups of oil, and I was so annoyed because I could not find my 1/4 cup of, um, my 1/4 measuring cup, uh, that I was so frustrated. I was like, "Well, how am I even supposed to do this?" And I was like, "Oh, a fourth and a fourth is 1/2 cup," which I had 2 of. And then you could feel the laughter on the other side of the veil as they were like, "There she is, she's got it." And then I just shook it up to get the last bits. A little open up so I can show you the final product. Delightful. Now I did, after I stopped recording, I went and I, wiped down the rim and wiped down the sides because I made a big mess. Oil everywhere. Should I have done this in the kitchen? Maybe. But this is the way it is. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you guys make good choices, and I will talk to you later. Bye.